Accused of murdering his roommate last summer, Riley Burbles, at a preliminary hearing today on Fort Drum. Burbles is facing general nature charges connected to premeditated murder and obstruction of justice. Today we learned what evidence there is against the soldier, including the alleged murder weapon. Erin Bischoff was on post listening to what prosecutors had to say, and she spoke with family members of the soldier Burbles is accused of murdering. Erin.
Jeff, the victim's mom, sister, aunt, and cousin were here from Ohio in the military courtroom as the prosecution detailed what it believes happened to Specialist Jacob Ashton.
It's like a nightmare. I keep thinking I'm going to wake up from a coma or something and dreamt all this.
Riley Burbles and Jacob Ashton, both specialists when they returned together from an Iraq deployment last year. Tuesday, Burbles sat inside this building on post to hear the evidence against him. At the Article 32 preliminary hearing, prosecutors laid out how they think the murder happened. Sometime between the late night to morning hours of August 4th and 5th, they say Burbles struck Ashton in the barracks bathroom with a hammer in the head and made a deep cut to his thigh. They allege Burbles took Ashton's body downstairs in a blanket and put him in the back seat of Ashton's car in the barracks parking lot with luggage on top of him. Ashton found that morning after he didn't show up for a morning formation. The motive? Ashton's family doesn't know.
It just doesn't make any sense at all.
I mean, yeah, it's just...
I guess the big thing is why.
Why?
I don't know if you'll ever find that out. It's why did this happen?
The prosecution says DNA will link Burbles to the crime, including a trash bag found in a dumpster by the barracks that contained a hammer believed to be the murder weapon, saying it had DNA from both Burbles and Ashton on the handle. Also, shoes the prosecution says belonged to Burbles were found in the trash with DNA from both soldiers. Lastly, a blanket covered in blood was also found in the trash bag. In the car, Ashton's cell phone was found with DNA from Burbles on it. Meanwhile, defense counsel Mickey Williams believes other information is being ignored, including, he says, Ashton receiving phone calls threatening to kill him and his family if he didn't pay $5,000. Williams also questions whether more people were involved. As for Ashton's mother, she wants to speak to President Trump, going to the top to make sure something like this doesn't happen to another military family.
I would like to speak to him about something that could be done to prevent this from happening. No one should feel what we have to go through. No one's family or, other military soldiers should have to go through this. Jake thought he was safe. He trusted that boy.
The purpose of the hearing is to determine whether there is enough evidence for the charges of premeditated murder and obstruction to move to a general court-martial. The preliminary hearing officer now has 3 days to make a final recommendation. Jeff?
Erin Bischoff live in studio. Thank you. Let's switch.